of the summer camp case of the missing shoes. Somebody in the troop was missing a pair of shoes, and my dad was intent on finding out what happened. He had everybody information, and they asked about the shoes, but nobody would confess. And I was just looking around, wondering, okay, how long is this going to take? Is somebody going to step up? And looking around, I saw a pair of shoes hanging in a tree. I don't think we ever figured out who it did, but Dad remembered that I was the one that found them. I had no recollection of this until he told me the last time I saw him. It was also at summer camp where I learned to shoot. That got me onto the rifle team in high school. Dad was pretty proud of me for that. I wasn't very good at baseball or basketball before, but he liked that there was finally something I was good at. When it was time for college, I knew what I wanted to study, and Dad helped me research which universities offered aerospace engineering and which ones were accredited. Plus, which ones had good football teams and marching bands. So I ended up at USC, as did Will, which covered all the bases. After that, he became a Trojans fan, even when we played against his alma mater, Illinois, in the 2008 Rose Bowl. After my freshman year, Dad gave me a summer job. I had a drafting class in junior high and some engineering classes at USC, so he actually gave me some real engineering work to do. It was some basic calculations and drafting, but it was real-life engineering, similar to the stuff that he did. I did it again the next summer. The one after that, I got a job at Hughes Helicopters during the summer. It was only a small step because of what I had already learned from my dad. So, he was helpful in kickstarting my career. Even when I was designing rides at Disney, the civil engineering I knew helped me figure out how to connect a ride to a concrete foundation. So, even 40 years later, stuff that my dad taught me was useful. For one of my Disney projects, Valerie and I moved to Tokyo for 2 years. Mom and Dad took us on a Mexican Riviera cruise before we left the U.S. and also came to visit us after we got to Japan. When we went out to eat, Mom always had to ask for a fork because she didn't know how to use chopsticks. I always thought that she was the one that taught me how to use them, but it turns out it was Dad. He knew from when he was stationed in Korea. So they did a lot of traveling over the years to places throughout the U.S. and the globe. Some before us kids were here, some with us, and sometimes just the two of them. Dad liked older movies, and he had his favorites. The soundtrack for the slideshow, if you guys were here last night, consists of songs from some of his favorites: The Pink Panther, Magnificent Seven, Great Escape, Casino Royale, and Kelly's Heroes. Two of his favorite TV shows were All in the Family and Sanford and Son. Shows that were funny back then, but very politically incorrect these days. I don't remember him being much of a music guy, but he did like Alan Sherman, the guy that sings Hello, Hello, Father. But the best thing I remember about my dad is that he would take care of others before himself. He tried to treat everyone with fairness and courtesy. Mom almost always had a better car than he did. He made sure Will and I had a first-class education. Later on, he preferred to keep his tenants happy with reasonable rents instead of making increases. There are dozens of examples over the years, but mostly he tried to keep Mom happy. They had celebrated their 51st anniversary, which they had to postpone from the 50th, but the 51st was one of the best things of his entire life.
I remember that.
They made it a few more years before Mom passed away. It was really hard for him to let her go. But lately, I could tell he knew the time was coming for him because of the things he would say, things he would tell me, the questions he would ask. He wanted to make sure that Will and I and the rest of the family would be okay. So even though we still had family here, there was something missing after Mom passed. And now the roles are reversed. We have something that we're going to be missing. But again, he's going to have the best thing that ever happened to him. So, goodbye, Dad. We're all going to miss you.